7-year-old Lethbridge boy is nearly stabbed to death.
The victim's 12-year-old brother said an unknown male entered the residence and stabbed the child before fleeing the scene.
Police say it was all a lie, and they've charged the preteen with attempted murder. Plus, photo radar returns to 2 Calgary intersections.
Driving fast around this area is definitely a pattern.
The province gives the green light to monitor 2 very dangerous crossroads. And carving out a real niche for themselves.
Whoa, where did he get the idea for that? Wish I'd have thought of that.
A sneak peek at the exhibition showcasing some of Southern Alberta's top woodworkers.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. An alarming investigation is emerging out of Lethbridge tonight. A 12-year-old boy is facing an attempted murder charge after his younger brother, just 7 years old, was found stabbed multiple times in the family home. Camilla Giuseppe joins us with more. And Camilla, police allege the older brother lied to officers about what happened in that house.
Tara, investigators say the boy, who cannot be named because of his age, had claimed that an unknown man, an intruder, entered the home, stabbed his younger brother, and then fled. But that's not what investigators have determined to be the case. What we do know is that the boy's father returned home last Wednesday, found his injured son, and called 911. Investigators say the stabbing happened about an hour before that, and that the boys were alone. Paramedics rushed the 7-year-old to Chinook Regional Hospital, who was then airlifted to the Stollery Hospital in Edmonton, where he remains in stable condition. Police say this level of violence involving children this young is rare and concerning. The 12-year-old brother is now charged with attempted murder and aggravated assault after police say they were able to quickly establish that he was their lone suspect.
And a knife believed to be involved in the offense was seized. As the investigation progressed, evidence was obtained indicating the 12-year-old boy had stabbed his brother repeatedly and believed he'd killed him.
So you're going to have to prove not only did the actions of the accused were intended to cause death, but you'd also have to prove that what was in the mind of the alleged perpetrator.
Now, Doug King says while these charges are extremely serious, that about a third of charges laid in Canada are dropped, or we could see a plea deal worked out here. For now, the 12-year-old remains in custody awaiting a bail hearing, and family is receiving several victim supports. Tara?
Okay, Camilla, thank you. A man was hurt in a hit and run this afternoon. The pedestrian was struck while crossing the street at 37th Avenue and 26th Street Northeast. Police officers were seen investigating an SUV at the scene, but they say the driver took off and no one was charged. The victim is in stable condition. Roughly 6 months after the province scrapped photo radar on provincial highways and roadways, the police asked for it to come back to 2 high-risk intersections. Stephanie Thomas joins us now from one of those areas. And Stephanie, police say speeding and crashes are a big concern where you are.
Tara, not far from where I'm standing is 12 Mile Cooley Road and Highway 1A, and that's where some speeders have been clocked at 162 kilometers an hour. Now, this is a 90 zone, so police have asked that photo radar and photo enforcement be reinstated. Now, it was just back in April that the province removed photo radar from provincial highways and connectors. The province allowed it to continue in school zones, playground zones, and construction zones. But the Calgary police asked for permission to return photo radar to high-risk or collision-prone areas. Now, Calgary police say there were 29 fatal crashes in the city last year, and that was a 10-year high. And so far this year, there have been 25 fatal collisions. So some drivers I spoke to in the area say that they believe speeding is an issue here.
I have noticed quite a few driving patterns of people who drive fast. I have seen quite a lot of the fancy cars for sure. So yeah, I definitely say that driving fast around this area is definitely a pattern.
We live in this community, and I've seen too many cars going through the red lights, and having 3 young adults driving in this area, it's a good way to maybe control speed.
Now, the other area that's going to see a red light camera or photo radar for speeding is in the northeast at 16th Avenue and 68th Street. Both of those intersections will have those systems reinstated on Friday, October 3rd. Tara.
Okay, Stephanie, thank you. Residents from a southwest Calgary community were in court this afternoon after filing an injunction against the city over a development proposal. Alicia Fieldberg is at the court center tonight. And Alicia, you spoke with some of those residents today.
Sure, there were several residents from Springbank Hill at court today for an injunction hearing. Now, they're concerned that the city is scheduled to vote on rezoning in their area when they do not have a current city councillor. Now, the proposed project for Augusta Villas would add 42 townhomes to nearly 3 acres of undeveloped land. Many residents say that it will add too much traffic and increase parking congestion and cast a shadow over existing homes. In a statement to CTV News, the developer Kyle Werzer says the proposal is a better outcome for the community with internal garages and visitor parking on site and communal waste and recycling pickup. An injunction was filed this week just as residents told City Council they would do if the city would not delay the rezoning voting until after the fall election. The previous Ward 6 councillor, Richard Putman, stepped down last November, and though another councillor, Sonia Sharp, has taken on representing Springbank Hill, residents say that Sharp does not have an extra vote on their behalf, and that the City Hall hearing should take place after that October 20th election.
This is not a big ask at all, and this is really why citizens are so frustrated and quite frankly angry about the situation. And we had initially been told that this hearing would be scheduled after the election. All of a sudden in the summer, this got rushed through the Calgary Planning Commission and now being rushed through City Hall without a clear explanation as to why. The protection of citizens' democratic rights is a serious matter, and so we were pleased to be able to be heard today.
The court injunction hearing is scheduled to resume on Monday afternoon, and that City Hall rezoning public hearing is scheduled to take place at City Hall Tuesday morning. Tara?
Okay, Alicia, thank you. The Prime Minister is forging ahead with a number of new measures he says will support the Canadian economy in the face of a trade war with the United States. Mark Carney is introducing a Buy Canadian policy and tariff relief for certain sectors. He is also hitting pause on the EV sales mandate. CTV's Abigail Beeman has the details.
We will build big, build bold, build Canadian.
Touring a plant in the Greater Toronto area, the Prime Minister laid out Ottawa's plans to help Canadian industries in the face of a trade war, including help for those impacted by tariffs with a new $5 billion fund and specific help for the canola sector, hard hit by Chinese tariffs last month.
What will be important here is to see how the federal government and provincial governments work with the business community to really identify what those needs are, support them, and work closely with labor organizations and the workers themselves.
And the Prime Minister is pausing the 2026 electric vehicle target while reviewing the overall mandate.
He's finally admitted that the Conservatives were right, just like we were right on the carbon tax. But he's doing a clumsy retreat, saying that he's going to delay this mandate.
Mark Carney also promising more federal action for the Buy Canadian movement.
The government's introducing a new comprehensive Buy Canadian policy that will move from best efforts to buy Canadian to a clear obligation to do so.
No word on what that means for the deal to buy American F-35 fighter jets, still under review by the government, while a new climate competitiveness strategy was announced as coming soon.
I'm glad to hear that we are finally hearing a little bit about climate change from the new Prime Minister, who has been, eerily silent on this issue.
In addition to a new climate strategy, the Prime Minister also promised a new defense strategy to support defense spending he described as, quote, enormous, and all this against the backdrop of a looming fall budget to explain how all the investment and austerity will be balanced. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
We were expecting an update from the province today about its now paused school books ban, but the province postponed the announcement until Monday. The controversy, though, has revived interest in many of the classics. In fact, there has been so much interest, some Calgary bookstores say they can't keep them in stock. Owl's Nest Books in Britannia is fielding calls and customer interest in some of the books that were selected by the Edmonton School Board. The province accused the school board of purposefully misinterpreting the minister's order. The list included works like 1984 by George Orwell, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, And store staff say they just recently sold out of all of their books by Margaret Atwood and now are ordering more.
We get messages on social media as well. They're looking for The Great Gatsby. They're looking for more LGBTQ titles. There's genderqueer, there's Flamer, still classics, Brave New World, Great Gatsby. It's not going to stop people from buying books. There's more incentive to read the banned books.
The province has rescheduled the announcement of the amended order to Monday.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Let's get our first peek of the weekend forecast. Danielle joins us now. We had better air quality today, a little bit. Is it going to stick around?
Yeah, it should for quite a while, Tara. Much of the weekend, anyway, which is some good news. You can still see the haze over the city behind me, but certainly a ton better than what we've had for the past couple of days where we are at that higher risk level. Today, we've been low to moderate. We're at moderate right now, just at a 4. So it's nice, more breathable air. Absolutely. 21 degrees is the temperature at the airport, and these winds that are a little breezy at times out of the south and southeast is what helped clear out a lot of that smoke. It will be gusting up to 40 kilometers per hour, and that will work to clear out even more smoke while we're sleeping as well. Air quality health index should remain low to moderate, just like it is right now through tomorrow. And tomorrow you're looking at a high of 24 degrees. Your full forecast is just ahead, Tara.
Thanks, Danielle. A wellness trend that's on the rise has come to Calgary. The city's first forest bathing trail is open at the Inglewood Bird Sanctuary. It's designed to support mental health and well-being as you immerse yourself in your surroundings. It's certified by the Association of Nature and Forest Therapy and includes stations where you can scan a QR code and listen to audio messages.
This was a part of the trail system at Inglewood Bird Sanctuary that had a lot of interesting viewpoints and was somewhat underutilized compared to some of the other parts of the park, and we thought this was a great way to activate the space.
There are 5 stations on the self-guided trail. The city is interested in getting feedback, and it may create other forest bathing trails. Alberta's unemployment rate is now the 2nd highest in the country. The trade uncertainty with the U.S. and the impact province-wide. ATB's chief economist weighs in. And later, he started riding dirt bikes as a toddler. Nearly 30 years later, he's still riding, taking on the best in the Badlands this weekend. And if you have a news tip, you can text us anytime at 10400. The August jobs numbers from Stats Canada have been released, and here in Alberta, they are not flattering. Outside of the pandemic years, the province's unemployment rate is now the highest it's been since 2017. Tim Brooke now on the factors contributing to that rate and who's being impacted the most.
Just east of Olds Friday, a new advancement in lithium extraction.
This equipment can operate and produce a product that is sellable directly into the battery industry without any need for post-processing.
The tech used here is expected to be big for energy development and the economy. 260 jobs are being created for operators and technicians, and they're needed. Stats Canada numbers show the national unemployment rate rose in August to 7.1%. The situation in Alberta is even more dire, where unemployment sat at 8.4%. The province lost roughly 14,000 jobs last month.
We're still kind of in a wait-and-see mode for the Canadian economy. We're looking for a trade deal with the U.S., but in the meantime, it's a very uncertain environment, and businesses are very cautious with their hiring.
It's all meant a slowdown in goods-producing industries and service sectors. Alberta youth employment organizations say a growing lack of part-time positions have especially hurt their clientele.
1 in every 5 coming through could not find a job, and these were a lot of them were trying to get into manufacturing.
The province is still confident in Alberta's bounce back, aided in parts by projects like this one.
Well, you know, jobs go up, jobs go down. The truth is Alberta has produced and created more jobs than anywhere else in Canada per capita for a long, long time. We will see the numbers move forward.
Of course, not everyone is buying into that incoming improvement.
It now stands considerably higher than when the NDP left office, despite the UCP's consistent promises on jobs in the economy.
Calgary's unemployment rate was unchanged in August at 7.7%. Edmonton's rate climbed to 8.5%. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Olds.
Nationwide, only Newfoundland and Labrador had a higher unemployment rate than Alberta in August. That province sat at 10.7%. Construction on 196 affordable homes is slated to begin next month in southwest Calgary. The Liberty Housing Organization will build on vacant land near the Heritage LRT station. Its target occupants are those making $65,000 or less per year. They hope to keep rent to about $940 a month for a one-bedroom and $1,100 for a three-bedroom. The home should be ready for occupancy in 2027. This tract of city land was declared surplus in 2019 when the YMCA South Recreation Facility was demolished.
We are located very close to the C-train line. There are amenities nearby. There's recreation opportunity. We are near places of employment. And this kind of a site gives people the opportunity to have a great life, even if they don't have a personal vehicle. It doesn't limit their ability to participate in work and school.
Since 2015, the Liberty Housing Organization has built almost 500 affordable homes in the Calgary area, with a goal of adding 2,500 within the next 5 years. Traffic is slowing once again on BC's Coquihalla Highway between Hope and Merritt. The major road has been closed for 2 days because of an out-of-control wildfire. The road opened this afternoon, but drivers are prohibited from stopping as the Mine Creek fire is still burning on both sides of the road. Exits near the fire zone are closed and visibility is limited due to the thick smoke. The fire triggered evacuation orders and alerts, forcing residents to act quickly.
This is CTV News Calgary.
Let's bring Danielle back in now as we look ahead to our 5-day forecast.
And for the next couple days, for much of the weekend, we should have this nicer air quality. So that's some good news for us. Then the wind pattern will switch. We'll talk about that in a second. But for now, this is a beautiful Friday. Temperatures are warm, 21 in Calgary, 22 in Banff, 23 in Lethbridge. Basically low 20s for all of southern Alberta right now. Winds fairly calm, but a little gusty at times, up to 40 kilometers per hour in the city throughout the next couple of hours. Okay, so while our days are going to be warm for the next 5 days, our overnights, you can feel it. They're starting to get a little cooler. Morning starts are a little on that cooler side as well. There is a frost advisory in place in the blue here. So Hannah, over to Empress, Medicine Hat foremost, because these communities will be dropping to or just about to that freezing mark tonight. Now, just to the east of this, where we don't have the advisory in place, it's still going to be chilly. We'll drop into those single digits for most communities for tonight, which means the cooler start tomorrow morning. Okay, let's talk about smoke for a second. And while we're doing okay now, we're at moderate, we're at 4. So the lower end of the moderate part of this air quality health index. I'm going to advance this though, because what we're looking at is the wind shifting late Sunday. And there's a lot of fires going on in BC, as Tara just showed you. And that's going to start to push on in. So late Sunday, and I'll advance this through Monday, it will get a little smokier. And by Monday, it could even drag us up to higher risk once again. Heads up on that one. Radar and satellite, nothing to talk about right now because we're under a ridge of high pressure and it's stable. We had some sunshine, a little bit of haze, but better than the last couple of days. Futurecast, really the only thing to show you with regards to any active weather is later on Sunday. We'll get that development of showers and thunderstorm activity in the foothills. This will be able to track off to QE2 and Highway 2. We may even see some of this activity in Calgary. So there's a decent chance of that near the supper hours on Sunday. Here's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. 25 degrees for tomorrow. Air quality health index will be on the lower side of things and mainly sunny skies. Sunday will be sunny. Then we'll have the clouds increase closer to those supper hours and we get into the chance of shower and thunderstorm activity. And later on Sunday, as that starts to happen, that's going to shift the wind direction. And then we get up to moderate on that air quality health index and potentially above moderate, so closer to that higher risk as we get into Monday. But as you can see, temperatures in those mid-20s for the next 5 days. Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. CTV News has confirmed the names of the 2 Canadians killed in the derailment of a streetcar in Lisbon. The couple has been identified as André Bergeron and Blanzin Do. Flowers, candles, and balloons line a sidewalk in Lisbon close to the crash site, a silent tribute to the 16 victims of Wednesday's disaster. Bergeron's brother says the couple was on the last day of a birthday trip when the tragedy struck.
I watched the news on Wednesday night. I was trying to text my brother. He did not respond. I could see the message was received on his phone, but he did not open them up. Same thing with my sister-in-law. So the next day, we learned that he was dead from the embassy.
Those killed in the accident also include 5 Portuguese nationals, 3 British citizens, 2 South Koreans, an American, 1 French, a Swiss, and a Ukrainian. Another 21 people are injured. Calgary's local film industry is in a bit of a slump, but Calgary's new film commissioner plans to change that. Just ahead, what's being done to attract new productions. And he couldn't squeak by police why Chuck E. Cheese was arrested at a kid's birthday party. A trailer has been released for a movie filmed in the Calgary area last summer and fall. Die, My Love stars Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson. Die, My Love is a psychological dark comedy drama centered around a new mother who develops postpartum depression and enters psychosis. It's based on a 2012 novel. It's set in Montana. Martin Scorsese is one of the producers. At its world premiere in Cannes in May, the film received a 6-minute standing ovation. It's scheduled to hit Canadian theaters on November 7th. Southern Alberta is the backdrop for many famous movies and television shows, but not as many this year as the past few years. Calgary has a new film commissioner, and he aims to attract more productions, which is welcome news to the industry as it faces a bit of a slump. Alicia Philberg reports.
World-class film and television crews, impressive scenery, and tax incentives entice many producers to choose Alberta. And Calgary's new film commissioner plans to spread the word with his connections. Adnan Wasi moved to Calgary from New York and has been in film and media for over 2 decades.
I'm definitely, looking through my Rolodex of filmmakers and studios and friends to say, hey, how about consider Calgary?
But his first month has been busy with other leads.
We have interest from not just local producers and national producers, but we're also getting connections from Hollywood.
That's promising because industry groups say 2025 has been a slower year.
Our employment is at about 65% this year, so we're not booming, but we're steady.
While other major centers can have around 100 productions shooting at a time, Calgary typically only has a handful. Major productions bring in big dollars, but smaller projects are just as welcome.
Much the way that a lot of the economy nationwide is made up of small to medium-sized businesses, same thing is true in media.
Industry members have discussed goals of more consistent local work with the new film commissioner.
Making sure that we have more things developed locally that are shot locally and not relying so heavily on these things that are maybe at the whim of politics even outside of our country.
So far, America has not followed through on imposing a 100% tariff on productions shot outside the country.
None of those tariffs have come to fruition.
It's very difficult to impose a tariff on a service.
The film commissioner sees Alberta's tax credit program as a draw.
The finances actually do make a lot of sense to make your productions in Alberta and Calgary.
Though others suggest changes to keep up with incentives offered in the UK and other Canadian provinces.
Alberta, if it wants to remain competitive, should look at minor tweaks to the incentives we have.
Several projects are scouting the area but have not yet been confirmed. Calgary's new film commissioner is optimistic about the potential for growth.
I see an opportunity for collaboration between the massive creative industry we have in Calgary and just take it to the next level.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
So far, 2025 has included local productions of My Life with the Walter Boys, Billy the Kid, Heartland, Murdoch Mysteries, and a new Canadian series, Anna Pigeon. Just ahead, the skill and the artistry of Southern Alberta's top woodworkers. A special exhibition is underway where you can see and in some cases buy these incredible handcrafted pieces. An impressive exhibition has just opened at South Centre Mall. The Southern Alberta Woodworkers Society is presenting the 2025 Fine Works in Wood exhibition. There are a variety of pieces to see. Some are purpose-built for function. Others are truly just pure art. Kevin Fleming reports.
He's worked with wood since high school and made a career out of building custom-made cabinets. But now Tom Gorman makes things out of wood for fun. His inspiration comes from things he sees in magazines, nature, and architecture.
I have pieces of wood out there that I just bought some yesterday, actually, and now my mind is going over, oh, yeah, where could I use this, and what other woods could I combine it with, right?
Gorman has 3 pieces entered in this year's Fine Works in Wood exhibition at South Centre Mall. The pieces on display are from some of the finest craftsmen with the Southern Alberta Woodworkers Society.
Really, the purpose of the show is to engage with the community, to give our members and other woodworkers an opportunity to really showcase what they can do.
The society has been around since 1983 and has close to 100 members. The exhibition is a biannual event and free to the public.
Very often the question you'll get is, how long did it take to make this, right? And invariably the answer you'll get back is, well, it was a labor of love. I don't really keep track. The truth is it could take 100 or 200 hours to build something that looks relatively simple.
Ed Marchand says members of the society are constantly sharing their knowledge, and that's helpful for him because he enjoys working with his hands.
We don't do much of that anymore in modern life, so when you can get hands-on, it feels good. And I guess wood comes from nature. It's still one of the pure things that we deal with.
Tom Gorman's made most of the items in his dining and living room where he can relax and enjoy them.
The stuff I make, you can't buy it at IKEA, right? And hopefully it's good enough that I can pass it on to my children, right? So that's my goal. Make furniture that'll last for 200 years. That's where it's at.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Now, some of the items on display at the exhibition are also for sale. Organizers say many of the pieces entered take hundreds of hours to complete. We've posted more information about the exhibition on our website. That is some talent. There's some really beautiful stuff there. Okay, trending, we're going to start with a dad who often gets told he's a little too overprotective, but you can decide what you think.
X gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock.
Okay, here's what's happening. He's a girl dad. He says he's not lurking to protect her. He's trying to protect the other kids because she is full of energy and goes full wrestle mode once she gets into that bouncy castle.
I'm with him on that one. I have one of those. You gotta watch.
You gotta watch.
Yeah, they'll take over that place.
Yeah, there's a lot of enthusiasm happening there. You just gotta make sure, you know.
I always want to worry when Finn gets in there because the other kids are bouncing so hard, right?
I know.
Hit the roof.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No.
An arrest video is going viral after a well-known children's restaurant mascot was taken away in handcuffs.
We detained Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, seriously. Police in Tallahassee, Florida crashed a birthday party, arrested a Chuck E. Cheese mascot for credit card theft and fraud. So this is all body cam video. You can see the officers escorting him outside. He's still in his costume. They need to take his big giant mouse head off before they can actually get him into the vehicle. But how embarrassing is that?
The walk of shame going through Chuck E. Cheese.
And how do you explain this to the kids?
How do you explain it to the kids?
You know?
Yeah. He took some cheese. It'll be fine. Yeah. Well, how far would you go to support your favorite sports team? A Welsh football fan has taken the trip of a lifetime to see his country play in their next World Cup qualifier versus Kazakhstan. So John McAllister traveled from Cardiff, Wales to Astana, the capital of Kazakhstan. He didn't fly, though. He took a much more scenic route. 17 trains and 11 buses were part of his journey. There's 5,000 kilometers between those two cities. I mean, the football team took an 8-hour direct flight, so they were there long before he was. They have said they plan to connect with him and meet up with him.
Well, they should bring him back, is what they should do.
You're right. They should bring him back. Yes.
Great idea.
Thanks for taking 2 weeks to get here. We'll have you home by this afternoon.
That is dedication.
No kidding. Well, it's the first week back at school, but some students are trying to learn on an empty stomach. We'll tell you about the drive to send them back with a nutritious lunch to get them through the day.
Well, happy Friday to you. Here's your Skywatch weather cam. And yes, it's a little hazy, but this air quality is sitting at moderate. We're just at a 4, which is much better than what we've had over the past couple of days. So the air is better. It's warm. We had some sunshine today. The weather is calm. It's a little breezy, that's all. 21 degrees is the current temperature. Also today's daytime high, a little above normal, and we should remain above normal for the next 5 days at least. And I'm sure you feel it. That chill starting to kick in. Fall's just around the corner officially. It's getting colder overnight, so we do have a frost advisory in place for areas off to the far east. Hannah, Empress, Medicine Hat, Foremost, Manyberries included in this. These areas will drop to or just about to the freezing mark tonight. And for us in Calgary, well, we may not be dropping to the freezing mark. We'll be in those single digits. So dropping to 8 tonight. Air quality remaining at around moderate even through tonight. And then tomorrow we should be moderate and even low. And then 24 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. Getting a little windy in the afternoon hours. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Okay, let's take a little dance around here. And you can see 34 degrees for tomorrow for Kamloops, 33 for Kelowna, 27 for Edmonton and Red Deer. Again, it's stable in southern Alberta. Nothing to worry about with regards to the weather. 24 degrees for Calgary, 27 for Drumheller, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, and Milk River. Tara?
Danielle. Lethbridge police have charged a 12-year-old boy with attempted murder. He is accused of repeatedly stabbing his 7-year-old brother in their home. The older brother initially told police an intruder did it. The younger brother is in stable condition. Photo radar and red light cameras are back in operation at 2 Calgary intersections. Police got permission from the province to reinstate them after numerous high speeders were recorded. And Springbank Hill residents opposed to a new high-density housing project were in court today, arguing for a delay in a rezoning hearing at City Hall. The province has accepted 4 new recommendations related to tailing ponds and oil sands water management. The study and analysis was done by the Oil Sands Mine Water Steering Committee. Its goal was to find ways to speed up tailings pond reclamation and water management at oil sands mines. The accepted recommendations include new treatment technologies and increased community involvement in monitoring programs. It also recommends establishing standards for releasing treated oil sands water. The province says it will create an accelerated plan for reclaiming the water and land. The grand opening of a Zellers store in Edmonton has been delayed for a 3rd time. Londonderry Mall management says the Zellers store will now open in October. Zellers is taking over the former Hudson Bay location. It was supposed to open August 29th. It was then pushed to Labor Day. People lined up for the opening on Monday, but they were eventually turned away by mall security. Tucked into the Prime Minister's announcement on tariff support was a decision to delay the introduction of a new EV quota. B&M Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez reports.
The new Liberal government is delaying the electric vehicle mandate of the old Liberal government. Under Justin Trudeau, the government calls for 20% of passenger vehicles to be electric by next year. But the new Prime Minister, Mark Carney, says vehicle makers have enough on their plates dealing with tariffs imposed by Washington. Here's a look at how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar down to 72.19. West Texas Intermediate dropped $1.61 to 61.87. Western Canadian Select also down to 51.41. And the TSX hit another record close, gaining 134 points and ending the day above 29,000 for the first time. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
More and more children are going to school hungry and without lunches for later. That's according to Brown Bagging for Calgary's Kids. The organization says it's seen an 80% increase in the last 5 years of kids living in food insecure households. And that means the need for its program at Calgary schools is on the rise. It's launched a fundraiser called the Back to School to Learn, Plan and Grow campaign. Here's Kevin Fleming.
Lunches are made fresh every school day at the Brown Bagging for Calgary's Kids downtown kitchen. Lena Anderson has volunteered here every Thursday morning since February. On this day, she's packing hampers.
We have fruit snacks, veggies, whole fruits, and then multiple different sandwiches. So whether you have allergies or something like that, we have ham, cheese, turkey. We even have a chickpea pita. syrup. We have a peanut allergy, PB and butter as well. So yeah, lots of variety in each of these bins.
The number of lunches made for hungry kids is on the rise, according to Executive Director Bethany Ross.
With back to school, we are providing lunch right now for just about 8,000 kids every school day, which has grown so much over the years, and we're really fortunate that we have a community that continues to respond, but it's really shocking and hard to think that many kids are struggling to have access to the food they need.
Brown Bagging launched a campaign for the month of September with a goal of raising over $600,000 that will fund more than 150,000 lunches. The organization is always in need of volunteers, but lately is short of drivers. Diane Hannaford has volunteered for 4 years and fills in anywhere she's needed.
I was usually only going to maybe 4 schools. We have had so many schools, more schools sign up that on Tuesday when I was driving, I drove to 7 schools. So, yeah, we're in great need for drivers.
Hannaford says it's rewarding to deliver lunches to schools and help out in her community.
I had no idea until I started volunteering here that there were so many hungry kids. So it's really an important program.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
This year, Brown Bagging says donations will go twice as far thanks to the Matt Rumpel Family Foundation. It's matching all donations up to $100,000. We've posted more information about the campaign on our website. Tomorrow evening's Powerball draw will be one of the largest jackpots in American history. The jackpot has ballooned to $1.8 billion US. That's nearly $2.5 billion Canadian after nobody won Tuesday night's draw. Nobody has matched 5 numbers and the bonus number to claim the top prize since May 31st. This would be the second largest jackpot in American history, behind a $2 billion US payday in 2022. The odds of winning the grand prize are not great, 1 in 292 million. It's the return of the matchup of the Battle of Alberta this weekend. The Stamps hope to make it a sweep after smoking the Elks on Labor Day. Glenn has a preview for us next. Canadian tennis star Felix Auger-Aliassime is taking on #1 ranked Jannik Sinner on center court at the U.S. semifinals right now. Sinner won the first set 6-1. They are tied in the second set. Ottawa native Gabriela Dabrowski and Aaron Routliffe won the women's doubles title earlier this afternoon. Dabrowski had breast cancer treatment last year. Routliffe lives in Montreal but represents New Zealand. The Calgary Stampeders and the Edmonton Elks hook up in a rematch in Edmonton tomorrow night. Glenn, the Stamps took care of the Labor Day Classic, and now they want a sweep.
The Stamps beat the Elks 28-7 at McMahon Stadium on Monday, and one of the big reasons the Stamps were able to come away victorious was the play of their defense. The Stamps defense has been dominant this season. Against the Elks, they didn't allow a touchdown. In 11 games this season, they've only allowed 15 majors. A lot of the credit has to go to the defensive line. They're relentless and have been putting all kinds of pressure on the quarterback and have done a good job of stopping the run as well. Clarence Hicks is in his second year with the Stamps. He's tied for 4th in the league with 6 sacks. Many of the so-called experts thought the Stamps defense may struggle this year with all the new faces. Hicks says it's been nice to prove people wrong.
This whole defense full of new starters. So me being like on the last team last year, just seeing how things just kind of out of whack, and being able to flip a whole 360, like, you can't ask for nothing better than that. So I can't say I'm surprised. I can't sit here and lie to myself and say I'm not surprised.
Most of the experts have never played football before, so we're not listening to that, you know what I'm saying? So we do what we do. We play this. We get paid to do this. So, yeah, I never had a doubt.
Listen, besides Flo, nobody came here with a reputation, so everybody's earning their stripes. You know, Hicks is coming of age, Miles is Miles, and Hutch, nobody knew Hutch. So everybody's getting it on the field and gaining that experience that way, and that makes it even more special.
Stamps and the Elks kickoff for that game, 5 o'clock tomorrow night up in Edmonton. Well, it took a long time, but it looks like the Flames and Connor Zary are ready to put pen to paper. Zary and the Flames have agreed to terms on a 3-year contract with a 3.775 AAV. In 117 games with the Flames, the 23-year-old forward has scored 27 goals, added 34 assists for 61 points. Last season, it was looking like Zary was ready for a breakthrough, but he was injured, and that derailed his season. Zary was a first-round draft pick of the Flames, 24th overall in 2020. Let's hope he can have an injury-free season and see what kind of numbers he can put up. And the Flames and Edmonton Oilers are having a 2-game next-gen series. Some of the Flames' top prospects will take part in these games. The first one's up in Edmonton next Friday, and then on Sunday, they'll face each other at the Scotiabank Saddledome. And the best news, it's only $10. Game time, 4 o'clock. Well, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, you may want to head down to the Badlands as Red Bull Outliers returns. One local rider can hardly wait to compete there again. Tristan Hart was born in Invermere and now makes his home in Calgary. The 28-year-old started riding dirt bikes at an early age.
I started riding dirt bikes when I was 3 years old. Definitely been a lot of injuries, a lot of years off in the time, but still doing it 25 years later. So it's definitely my love, definitely a lot of passion for it, and I want to keep doing it as long as I can.
Dirt bike racing isn't for the faint of heart. Hart broke his femur when he was 7 years old and put the bike away. He tried other sports, but it just wasn't the same.
So my parents bought a boat. I decided I didn't really like the water and I liked dirt biking, so we got back into it when I was 13 or 14. And ever since then, I've just been riding in the mountains, riding over rocks, logs, just whatever people don't think is possible to get a dirt bike through is kind of what I like doing.
Hart is now Canada's top-ranked extreme enduro athlete. He's competed all over the world, and this weekend he'll join the best riders in the world for Red Bull Outliers in the Alberta Badlands.
That's Tristan going back into the lead. Man, he's outright.
The Badlands here in Canada is insane. The hills here are super unique. Super short run-ups with super steep hills, and if you don't make them, you're coming down 100, 200 feet, and you and the bike are just rolling down. So it's one of the gnarliest races in the world that I've done, and it's right here 2 hours from Calgary near Brooks, and definitely a good show for spectators.
Hart's nickname is the Robot because of his consistent riding style.
We've got local boy Tristan coming in now.
And he'll need plenty of that this weekend.
Yeah, I think I like it. I think it kind of stands for, not giving up and always just pushing through adversity, and that's kind of what I've done in my career so far. So a little under the weather this week, so I'm going to have to do it again this weekend here if I want to be on top at the home race.
What a cool venue. Racing gets underway today with the amateur main event. Tomorrow, the big boys take to the course for the expert and pro main events. The Red Bull Outlier takes place in Stephenville, Alberta.
What an amazing venue. You're right.
That would be so cool. And I guess he was saying it's great for spectators.
Yeah.
Get lots of good views.
It would be fun. And a nice weekend to go out there.
Sure is, yes. We have a beautiful weekend. And first, just look at the temperatures when I show you this. So mid-20s for Saturday, mid-20s for Sunday, and we'll hold on to the 20s, to be honest, for the next 10 days. We do have the Air Quality Health Index, which will be mainly low tomorrow, and later on Sunday, closer to the supper hours, we have the potential for some thunderstorm activity, or at least some showers, and this will switch the wind direction, so some smoke may roll in from BC, so we may be above moderate, so at that higher risk on Monday, just so you're aware. Okay, weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. And this one is from one of our own. CTV's Kate Howden sent this in. And this is where I do my first weather hit at the top of the show, outside.
Yep, you haven't run into that guy outside?
Yeah.
I have
Better
not.
watch out.
No, I haven't seen him.
We'd have seen you running back into the building if he was out there.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of birds out there. Glenn, you'd love that. You
I know by there.
Love that.
Nope,
Great shot. Great shot. Thanks for your company. Have a great weekend.